Hi, Nathan Patrick Taylor here. I'm going to take you on a quick tutorial of the Excel VLOOKUP function. So to start with, we're going to break down the function here for a minute and talk about the four parameters that the function requires. One of those parameters is optional. The first is the lookup value itself. This is the value that you actually want to look up in the array or range of columns and rows that you've selected. It's important to note that that value must be in the first column of the range that you select. The second parameter is the table array itself. So this is the range of columns and rows that you're going to feed into the VLOOKUP function. And again, the first column must contain the value that you're going to look up. The third parameter is the column index number of the column containing the value that you want to return back. Okay, so if I gave, let's say, 4 columns and I want to return the third column back, then I need to put a 3 into this option to get the value back from that table array that I've selected. The last option is optional, but it is an important optional parameter, and that's because it's often confused that the true value is the one that you want, when most of the time the false value is the one that you probably want to use. True means that you are doing an approximate match to the value that you're looking up. This is the default behavior. False means that you want VLOOKUP to find an exact match. So there's a couple notes about this. If you use the true or approximate match, you should sort the first column in your table array. That's because the match is going to find the nearest value that is less than the lookup value. If you use the false, which is usually what most people want to do when they're using the VLOOKUP function, it's going to do an exact match. That first column doesn't need to be sorted. If no match is found in either case, whether you're doing an approximate or an exact match, you'll get a hashtag n/a back, meaning that the value is not found or not available. Okay, so let's look through a quick animated example here of how it looks. So up at the top, I have my VLOOKUP function in the formula bar already completed. Let's go through each of the parameters one by one. So the first parameter that I have is referencing cell C2, which is the value that I want the VLOOKUP function to go and find. The second parameter is the range of cells, columns, and rows that I'm feeding into the VLOOKUP function, with the first column being the one that's going to be the value searched. The third parameter is the column containing the value that I want returned. In this case, I want product name back. I've selected a range that's a little bit larger than the column number that I want back, and that's okay. Maybe I want to change it to a different column later. All right, so let's do a quick demonstration of this inside Excel. All right, back in Excel, in the formula bar, you can see that I have a VLOOKUP function already placed inside the bar, and it's in cell C3. Which is returning the product name column. So let's break it down real quick. Again, I'm looking up cell C2, which contains the value CR-9981, and I'm looking from B6 to F26, which is this range here. And then I want to return column 2, and for this range, it's going to be the product name. And I have set the optional parameter false, which means I want an exact match. So if we look at the value CR9981, you notice it's returning crown race, which is the correct value that it should return. Let's remove this function. Let's delete it and re-enter it here, just so we can see how it works to do it from scratch. So I'll type an equal sign, means I want a function call here. So I'll type VL for VLOOKUP, and a little bit of IntelliSense here. It knows that I am looking for the VLOOKUP function, so I'll hit the tab key. The value that I want to look up is in cell C2, so I'll click that cell. Then I'll type a comma. The table array that I want to go search is this first column here, all the way down to this last row and column over on F26. I'll hit comma again, and then the column index number is the number of the column based on the table array that I selected that I want returned. In this case, I want the second column returned, so I'm going to hit 2. and another comma, and now comes our optional parameter, and I really suggest that you put this parameter in even though it's optional. And I'm going to say I want a false, which means I want an exact match. Don't forget your closing parenthesis, hit enter, and the formula works as expected. I'm going to make a quick change here. We're going to look for value EC-T209, and that should change to turning end caps, which is looking up this value here in cell C24. Now let's say I didn't want column 2. I want to change it to safety stock level, which is column E, but in the table array that I've selected, it is going to be the fourth column. This is first, second, third, and fourth. So I'll change it to 4. For EC-T209 should get a value of 1,000 back, and that's what I get inside the VLOOKUP function. All right, I'm going to stop it there. Good luck with your VLOOKUP function. Please subscribe to the channel and also post comments on the next function that you want me to review. I'm interested to hear what types of questions you all have. Good.